Oh, last week we were talking about the chromatic scale and how it fits in with everything else. So you would have been, I asked you to learn your chromatic scale, which is the easiest scale in the world because it's just simply all the notes on this string. Just going up one fret at a time. And that gives us a chromatic scale. We also learnt that tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone are the scale intervals in the major scale. And we use C, which has no sharps and flats. So we said C to D to E, directly to F, to G, to A, to B, directly to C. Not enough fingers. So you see what I'm saying there? E and F always together, B and C always together. Never gap in those two. Okay, so given that we had that information, we had our chromatic scale, we knew tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. I asked you to try and write out the A major scale. Now, A major scale is not an easy scale in any way, shape or form. So, I hope you've checked it on the internet. I don't mind if you have. I don't mind if you've gone there and got the information. That's not important. What's important is that you've had some look at it and thought about why it works. Okay, so in the A major scale, we're going to go tone, tone. So that's A. Now, one thing I must say about scales, the letters only appear once. So you won't have F, F sharp, G. You'll make a decision on whether it's F, F sharp, or F, G flat. Okay, you'll make that decision as you go along. Right, so in A, we're going to have A major. We're going to have B major. Sorry, we're not going to have that at all. Don't worry about the majors. Just going to have the notes of A, B, C becomes C sharp. So we've still got B and a C next to each other, but because we've got to go tone, tone, they have to move up. So it becomes C sharp. We then need a semitone. Okay, so a semitone from C sharp up is D. So in this scale, we have A to a tone of B, to a tone of C sharp, to a semitone of D, then a full tone to E. And then from E we need another full tone which takes us to F sharp. And from F sharp we need another full tone which takes us to G sharp. And then from G sharp we need a semitone to take us to A. So the gaps remain the same. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. The gaps stay the same. Okay, so now in A major there are 3 sharps. We now know that. Okay, so can you work out the scales this week, please, for G, for F, for E, and for D, using the same formula. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Okay, now why do we want to know these scales? Okay, you don't need to know them. You can play your ukuleles and you're all good at it, and there's no reason to learn them other than a little bit of insight into how it works. So knowing your scales will help in many ways, and a couple of them are. It helps you know what notes make a chord. So inside a chord, so when you play a C and you hit all 4 strings, you're obviously hitting more than one note. If you're going to play it according to the scale, you just play C, then you'd play, that's all you'd play. Just 3 notes, because that's all you need to play some of the songs. So you know how to make a chord. You know what chords you can expect to see in a scale. So if someone said to you this song's in C, you know you're going to see C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and you know there's going to be no sharps or flats, and you know you can probably play most of those chords. And now you know that how they fit in with the playing. You'll learn how to transpose a song. So again, we were talking about the notes at 1, 4 and 5. These form a triad. So in C, C, F and G, you often see that in a song, quite often. You know, if you're playing in A, you'll see A, D and E in a song, and you'll see that quite often together. And there are little groups like that throughout the chordal system. And you also know what scales to use to make up a solo by knowing your scales. All right, so 1, 4 and 5 in the major scale are always sort of known as a triad. They go together really well. And normally you'd play 1, 4, 5 for all your rock and roll songs, all your C, Fs and Gs. They're all 1, 4, 5. So they're called triads. So if you'd like to work out this week what the 145 would be in the same G, F, E and D scales, that would be fantastic. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. What are the scale runs for those? Given the one above, look at A tone to B, tone to C sharp, semitone to D, tone to E, tone to F sharp, tone to G sharp, semitone to A. And then write the scales out for those 4 there. And that will give you that bit of information out, which is a triad, which hopefully Alan will be able to sort out in some logical order to put onto the screen. Any questions, please message me. I've not had any yet, which is great, which means you're understanding what I'm babbling on about. But I just hope you enjoy playing and you know, you're learning a little bit more. So stay safe. See you next week.